Hi, friends. It's getting to be chilly outside, so I thought I would make this. I have made chicken pot pie many times, but what I'm going to use today, I'm going to kind of cheat, if you will, or be smart, we could call it that, and use my leftover chicken soup. Now, I didn't put any noodles in it. I always serve those on the side because some people like more noodles than others. But in here, there is just the chicken that I have that video, a whole chicken, and the mirepoix, the onion, celery, carrots. And so I'm going to add just a couple of things to change it up. Just taking your leftovers and changing it up. You can see these are frozen peas. I love peas. And Thane likes peas, but I love them. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more than I'm giving him. See, we're just adding two to change up what would be a leftover. Our soup was very delicious. I used that whole big chicken on the bone with the skin, but then, of course, I took the skin and bones out. Now, Thane likes the rice. We had leftover jasmine rice, so I'm going to give him some, but I'm going to omit that from mine, and that's the beauty. That's why I have two of these ramekins, lango dishes, we used to call them in the restaurant we worked in. Anyway, he gets rice. I don't want rice in mine. His will be a little more hearty because of that. I was going to take one potato, peel it, and boil it, and make it more like a chicken pot pie would be. But again, this is fast, getting home from work or whatever, and you just take something and redo it. It's really very simple. So I'm going to scoop out the guts, I call it, and I go back and forth anytime so that one person doesn't get more of something than the other. So like 2 scoops for him. This is my second scoop, and he likes more guts. See that chicken? I'm going to give all that to him. I like more broth. That's why I leave the noodles out or on the side when we are having a soup, especially like wedding soup or something. I keep the pastina on the side. Hey, it looks like these 2 dishes will accommodate just the right amount, which is okay with me. So I didn't put the potatoes in, but Thane gets rice, and that'll be good. The broth was delicious because I cooked the chicken on the bone. We're just going back and forth here, like I said. Let me get this out of the way. Now, my chicken pot pie, I would make homemade dumplings real quick with a flour base. But today, this is what I'm going to use. You can even use Bisquick and dollop the little biscuits on top and bake in the oven. You can add cheese. You can do whatever you want. But today, I'm going to use good old trusty crescent rolls. Boy, we use crescent rolls for so many things now, don't we? All the recipes on the internet and whatnot. But I'm just going to put these on top. And, I'm sure you have an extra can, or you can buy an extra can like I do and just keep them in the one part of the refrigerator, because they sure do come in handy, especially if someone's coming over unexpected. You can make a little appetizer roll up. The kids like to roll these up with like ham and cheese, and they get to do something themselves. Wash your hands. Let's make a little hot appetizer while we're watching TV or something. But here we go. So I have 1 can that will go real nice, I think. I've never done the crescent rolls on top of this before. What are you doing, peas? You're having a party in the corner. Get over there. I'm just placing things where they go so that when you take a bite, you get a little bit of everything. Whoopsie daisy. How am I going to do this? Am I going to rest it right on top of the liquid? No, I'm going to kind of press it around the sides. Just tamp it down. Don't make it go over too much, because the ends here will brown a little faster than the middle part does. So I'm going to get this one on here. Just tamp that down. And then we will have some over the middle. I ended up, I can't leave things alone, even when I do something so simple like this. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I thought, I think some shaker cheese would go good on the crescent rolls, just on there, not in the soup necessarily. But instead of having like bread and butter on the side and having soup again, I thought I'd just turn this into here. And it doesn't take but a minute. And then the crescent rolls are yummy on top, right? So that one's mine. Turn this around. Then we'll have something a little more hearty. You know, I ended up only eating half of mine anyway. I made a big salad on the side for our dinner tonight. And it's funny because the lettuce looked a little like, a little sauce, I call it, a little suspicious. And so I had to pick to get the good part of the lettuce off. But then here's me, just look in your fridge. We ended up with one little cucumber, some tomatoes. Of course, that's pretty standard for salad, right? But then I put some nuts in it. What else did we have? I had part homemade croutons left over. Those were good in there. And then I took a couple pieces of American cheese and I minced them up. And then I made a homemade dressing, I call it Aunt Alice's dressing. It's just mayonnaise and milk base with a little sugar in it. You could add ranch to it. But instead of the same old, no, I realized I put this one on the wrong way, but I'll stretch it over and make it happen, right? So into the oven with these, after I shake my Parmesan cheese on top, and 375 is pretty standard, I think, for crescent rolls. And, I had heated up my soup first in the microwave because I want them to cook at the same time. I want the soup to come to temperature and have the crescent rolls bake and get them nice and brown. So here they are. Pulled them out. Don't they look fancy? But they're really not fancy. And will the chicken soup be okay? After all, I didn't thicken it. You tell me. I think it was fine and dandy, and we had a nice, delicious dinner. I hope you'll try it sometime.